Tank Davis being elevated to Super WBA champion is a bad sign, bro. It's a bad sign. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live every Sunday morning with the Singing OG KQKC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And please join the channel as a member, drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and videos that we do. And hit me up if you want to debate. Knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. Or you can always just come by the channel when I'm live. Let's take a sip of this New Year's mimosa and get it started. Happy New Year's, man. Happy New Year's to everybody checking out this content today. I hope the 2024 year brings you nothing but blessings and prosperity. But let's talk about it. So it's being reported that the WBA is going to elevate Gervonta Tank Davis to Super WBA champion, making him the full-fledged WBA champion, seeing as though, obviously, Devin Haney dropped all his belts and moved up to the 140-pound division. This is bad, bro. This is bad, bro. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why it's a bad sign and why I absolutely am worried and don't like this move. I don't like it, right? Number one, first and foremost, just my overall view of boxing. Champions should fight for their belts, bro. No true competitor. And Tank Davis himself has said he don't want that shit. But, he may not have a choice unless he's, man, fuck your elevation. I'm dropping this shit. We'll see what he decides to do. But champions should have to fight for their belts, bro. Being in the position of Jerome Boots Ennis, being in the position of Urdinas Ugas, when he got lucky, though. And I'll explain why. Being in Tank Davis's position, bro, you should have to fight for your belt, bro. Because you can't feel like a true champion. What if, like, in any other sport, they just name a champion, bro, and then they like, okay, yeah, I'm the champion, but you didn't play for it, you didn't compete for it, you didn't earn it. Like, it's gonna have a little like, all right, bro, yeah, you champion. I mean, but are you champion, bro? Like, it's gonna have that until you fight for it, until you defend it, until you put some weight on the championship that you're given. So that overall, just for boxing, is horrible for the sport, for fighters to just be elevated to champion, because you're explaining that shit to a casual fan. Oh, yeah, he the champion now. But I thought Bud Crawford was a champion. But, yeah, he dropped his belt, and so now this guy the champion. So he didn't even have to fight for it? No, he ain't. Like, that's a lot of explaining to do. So there's that part of it. Now, what's important to note as we continue through the video is that this is part of the WBA's new getting rid of all of the belts consolidation that they started all the way back in 2021. But the reason that they did that was because Michael Fox got robbed by Gabriel Mastery, who's from Venezuela. The WBA is based out of Venezuela. The judge in the fight, of these fights that robbed Michael Fox, the guy that he was fighting was from Venezuela. And the judge that scored the fight was racist towards black people on a Twitter timeline and shit. And she judging a black fighter's fight. And it was just a whole big controversy. So as a result, the WBA said, hey, we getting rid of all these belts and we only going to have one champion. That's how Rolly Romero and Tank Davis got made. It's because, number one, Tank Davis's team, Mayweather Promotions at the time, still Al Heyman to this day, they have a lot of pull within the WBA. They got a lot of WBA champions. Their fighters pay a lot of sanctioning fees to the WBA. They got a lot of pull with these sanctioning bodies. You know, with the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, money talk, bro. Money talk, and if you can pay enough, if you got enough power, you can pretty much get them to bend or break or create any kind of rule that you want within a sanctioning body to benefit how you trying to move your fighter, right? So as part of all of that, he ended up fighting Rolly. They called Rolly a mandatory. WBA interim champion was Rolly. They said, hey, we got to get rid of his belt. Boom. Now he get to fight Tank Davis as mandatory since we got rid of the interim belt in all of the weight classes. They can sell it to you as a mandatory and act like he got to fight Rolly, when in reality we know if PBC, Al Heyman, Mayweather Promotions, they didn't want him to fight Rolly, bro, he wouldn't have had to fight Rolly. That looks like what's taking shape here, right? And I'll explain it further, but it's gonna be on Tank Davis to stand on business, bro. Like I'm not one of these fans that's gonna fall for the cap. So if you look at what's going on behind the scenes, Tank Davis is a WBA regular champion. Eastside Cruz is ranked #1 right up under him. And here now we to the bad sign. We to the bad sign part of this shit, right? Tank Davis is being elevated. They're getting rid of his regular title that he had. And now they can just, hey man, we PBC Al Heyman, who clearly want a Pitbull fight, bro. That's why he been on everybody undercard. He been the co-main event. He been all of that shit. What's up, Blueski? He been all of that shit, bro. What's up, Blueski? Stop trying to drink my mimosa. He been, hey, daddy dog. What's up, Bubbles? Good morning. Good morning, guys. Go get it. Good boy. All right, let me finish. So, with Eastside Cruz being #1 and Tank Davis being elevated to the Super WBA, and you know PBC is like in-house fight, Black American, Mexican American. Eastside Cruz, Tank Davis won, got 10 million views on Showtime's YouTube channel. A lot of views. We feel like we can sell this fight. WBA, can you do what we tried to do with Earl Spence and Keith Thurman? Can you order this fight? Because the WBC ordered Keith Thurman and Earl Spence to fight. And they can make it look like, oh, it's a mandatory. He's exercising his mandatory, elevated the champion, exercising his mandatory. That's why it's a bad sign of him getting elevated, bro. It's because it puts into play and it puts in position Tank Davis, Eastside Cruz, as Tank Davis is mandatory in the WBA. That's where it's on Tank Davis to stand on his word, and that's where he has to understand. Diehard fans that may come by here and tell me, because every time I get ready to criticize Tank Davis or I have something that shows that I'm really like, nah, bro, I'm really a boxing fan first. I ain't no Tank Davis fan, boy. Anytime I do that, people tell me I ain't a Tank Davis fan. But you told me, bro, you not fighting Isak again. You told me that you ain't fighting this rockhead ass. Get it through your head. That's what you said, bro. Those were your words. So mandatory or not, people pushing for you to fight him or not, within your team, within that organization that you under, that you managed by, nah, bro. The way that Earl was like, man, you fighting Keith Thurman, this who I'm fighting. Just because you elevated, I don't care if they try to say that it's a mandatory all of a sudden. You said you wasn't fighting him. You said you wasn't fighting him. So I expect for you to stand on business. I expect for you not to fight that young man. But it is important to note that this move by the WBA puts into play and puts in position for an excuse for Tank Davis fans, fanboys, for the PBC to say, well, we had to make the fight because the WBA ordered it. That will get off on a casual fan, but it won't get off on a diehard fan, and it won't get off on anybody that understands how this stuff works intricately. And at the end of the day, this looks like the same play is being made that was made when they made the Rolly Romero fight. Oh, it's an in-house fight. It's a mandatory because the WBA is getting rid of all their belts. And, you know, we had to make the fight because he's Tank Davis is mandatory. Same thing. Oh, the WBA got rid of Tank's regular belt. They elevated Tank Davis, and now Eastside Cruz is his mandatory. We got to make the Eastside Pitbull Cruz fight. When in reality, bro, y'all been trying to set that fight up for 2-3 years now, ever since the first fight at the end of 2021. You can't miss. You can barely miss a PBC pay-per-view card that ain't got Eastside Cruz as the co-main event. And he do got a big Mexican fan base. And it probably will do pretty good numbers relative to him fighting a Gary Russell Jr. or a Gary Antoine Russell or Frank Martin, or like Pitbull Cruz versus Tank Davis is a bigger fight than Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. I had Devin Haney fans. I had my homie BFTB. We talked behind the scenes after the video I dropped about Teofimo Lopez versus Tank being a bigger fight. I guess maybe there's a misunderstanding. I don't think it's a better fight than Tank versus Devin. I want Tank Davis versus Devin Haney more than any fight in boxing. But the same rule applies here. Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, to me, way better fight than Tank Davis versus Isak Pitbull Cruz because I consider Frank Martin to be a better fighter than Isak Pitbull Cruz. But Tank Davis versus Isak Pitbull Cruz is a bigger fight. It will probably do better numbers. It will have a better live gate because Isak Pitbull Cruz has a fan base that Frank Martin doesn't have. Frank Martin got the same fan base as Tank Davis fans, Black American fight fans. Isak Pitbull Cruz brings you the Latinos, the Mexican Americans, the true Mexican fans, as he don't even speak no damn English. He from Mexico, Mexico. Still have his camps in Mexico, so he bringing a whole country with him. It's going to be a bigger fight, yes, but it's not a better fight. It's not a fight that we want here on this channel. I haven't met one single fight fan that wants that fight, but what I do want to cause attention to and what I'm making this video for is remember the play of Tank versus Rolly Romero. They set us up for that leading up to the shit. Rolly Romero belt became non-existent. They ordered Tank and Rolly. Then Tank and Rolly get made because that's the fight that Mayweather Promotions wanted, seeing as though Tank was on the last fight of his deal. He was on the last fight of the damn deal. And they want to get that in-house bread with him and Rolly Romero. And boom, they make that fight. They can sell it as some sort of mandatory defense to the people that don't really understand what's going on. And it does good numbers. Same thing with Tank and Isak Cruz, bro. Look like it's going on. I ain't here to lie to y'all, dog. I'm going to tell you the truth in all subjects. It look like the same shit going on, and, bro, it's bullshit. And it's on Tank Davis. Everybody put the ball in his court, say it's your decision. That what Leonard Ellaby said, Calvin Ford, everybody around you. So don't look for me to be blaming Calvin Ford or Leonard Ellaby or Al Heyman if you decide to fight Isak Pitbull Cruz. But I ain't no fool either. It looked like the same players in place, y'all. They elevating Tank Davis. They getting rid of a belt. Isak Pitbull Cruz is #1 in the WBA. Look like he about to be the mandatory and shit. And it's gonna be all on Tank Davis' shoulders to let them know I am fighting him. I ain't fighting him. Bro, you are the boss, you are the decision maker. You are. So you gonna get the criticism, you gonna get the blame. Straight like that, bro. Straight like that. But if you just understand, bro, if you make all the people that come by the channel, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but a lot of people been coming by the channel telling me forever, he fighting Pitbull knockout. He fighting Pitbull knockout. He don't care about being great knockout. He don't care about his legacy knockout. He don't care about proving that he the best knockout. He fighting Pitbull. And I've been telling him, bro, he said he ain't fighting him. He said he don't want to fight him. He done said it 2, 3, 4 times. You go back on your word now, you're gonna be looking like a fool, and you're gonna lose some people, bro. You're gonna lose some people. So we'll see what the decision is. We'll see what this means, but it's important to document that this shit looks eerily similar and it looks exactly the same that it looked when they were getting ready to give us some bullshit Tank Davis, Rolly Romero fight. That's just the fact of the situation. So Tank Davis elevated to the WBA super champion. Bad sign, because you want champions to fight for their belts, and it's a bad sign because if you reading tea leaves, if you understand how sanctioning bodies work and how these promotional companies work, looks like we one step closer to Tank Davis versus Isak Pitbull Cruz, and I'm gonna lose my mind on his ass. I do not want that fight. Smash the like button, sub to the channel, share the video. I'll catch y'all soon. Peace out.